Several years ago, I produced a series of videos showing how to twist popular padlocks off their hasps using my 24-inch pipe wrench. And to be sure, it was a very effective attack, though it did have its limits. One of which was due to the fact that I was using a relatively low-quality pipe wrench from Harbor Freight. So it seems pretty clear that I need a better tool. I asked my friends if they had any candidates. My friend Tony offered the use of his 8-inch Wang. Now, normally an 8-inch Wang would be more than enough for any standard job, something like laying pipe, but it just doesn't give enough power for what I want to show you. And as you can see, being only 8 inches long, it doesn't seem to have seen much use. Then my friend Trevor offered the use of this one. It is 10 inches long and rigid. Like Tony's Wang, a 10-inch rigid is more than enough for most sturdy jobs, and it'll likely do well, but again, it seemed a little short for me. Moving up in size, I was offered this 14-inch Johnson by my friend Rob. Now, it might be long enough, but you'll notice this bend at the head of the tool. It's my understanding that quite a few Johnsons have a bend in them just like this one, and I'm told it can be awkward or even uncomfortable. Because of that, I tend to avoid bent Johnsons. Finally, my friend Nick offered the use of his 4-inch long King Dick. Now, I think we all know that 4 inches isn't really enough to get the job done. I tried to tactfully tell Nick, and he was quick to point out that if you play with it, it does get a bit longer, but only about 1/4 to 1/2 inch, not enough for our purposes. To his credit though, Nick's offering did remind me that I too have a King Dick, and it might be perfect for the job. My King Dick, however, is a full 36 inches long. Now, I've used my King Dick to lay pipe in the past. You can clearly see that it's well used and it can be extremely effective. But I've never shown my King Dick on video or publicly, so I feel obligated to issue a few words of caution. When using a tool this big, you have to be really careful. The power of a 36-inch tool should never be underestimated, because if you carelessly swing around a 36-inch King Dick, you can do a lot of damage, maybe even wreck a home with it. So, being careful not to do too much harm, let's go see the damage that my 36-inch King Dick is capable of inflicting. Well, I think it's pretty clear that my 36-inch long King Dick is a supremely powerful tool. But as I was testing it out, Mrs. Lockpicking Lawyer walked in and watched me work. Afterwards, it was suggested that my King Dick wasn't a particularly versatile tool. She then challenged me to get into her beaver using nothing but my King Dick. Since I never backed down from a challenge, let's go give that a try. Okay folks, as you saw, getting into Mrs. Lockpicking Lawyers with my King Dick wasn't particularly hard. And I'll admit to being a little surprised to finding some semen inside. I don't think this semen's mine.